To all the non-believers, I'm making non-believers.
What's up, y'all? This is Jay Varsity, and welcome to episode 54 of NBA Talk Playoff Edition. The Eastern Conference Finals started last night, and from the looks of it, it was a very good game last night. It was a very good game, and the Toronto Raptors they were coming out in attack mode in the first three quarters. They were being aggressive. Kyle Lowry was being aggressive, especially from the three. Kawhi Leonard was being Kawhi, but defensively they were somewhat doing the same 3-2 zone that the Boston Celtics were doing to the Bucks in Game 1, and it worked for the first three quarters. It did work for the first three quarters, but as I said before, and I'm going to say it again, like I said in that Boston series, that kind of defense is not going to work if you're solely going to build a wall to surround Giannis, because people tend to forget that the Bucks do have shooters, and Giannis is surrounded and built around shooters. And when you try to collapse on Giannis, it's not just that you're dedicating four guys to get on Giannis. You're allowing shooters like Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Nikola Mirotic, Ilyasova. Even on a good night, Eric Bledsoe could probably kill you from the three. And speaking of Eric Bledsoe, he needs to be a little more aggressive. He needs to be a little more aggressive on the drive. Stop settling for jump shots. He's best when he's driving to the rim. That's how the Milwaukee Bucks offense moves more smoothly, and that's how the ball moves around more when he's more aggressive. Just when his mindset is to get to the rim. And Chris Middleton, he didn't have the best night either. He was settling for a lot of threes. He tried and. Credit the Toronto Raptors defense in the first three quarters, because they contested all his shots. He had a hand in his face, and at the same time he had Kawhi Leonard on him. He had Kawhi Leonard on him, and whenever your defender is Kawhi Leonard, it's never going to be an easy night for you. It's never going to be an easy night. But in the case of what won the Bucks this game, it was the combination of Brook Lopez and Giannis. Brook Lopez had a career night. He had a huge career night. He putting up 29 points. What was it? 11 boards, I believe, and he had 4 blocks. He looked like the Brooklyn Nets. Brook Lopez, the way he was playing, he looked like a lot of people were saying he probably turned back the clock. I have to say the same thing. He was just aggressive from the jump, and this is the way he's got to be, because he almost looked non-existent in that series against the Celtics, and he stepped up big in this Game 1. And defensively, the Bucks just never stopped. They never changed their game plan throughout the whole game. They stayed aggressive on defense. They stuck to their offense. They stuck to their offensive game. They did not give up on their offensive strategy. They just did not give up. They didn't give up. They fought back. They fought back. They didn't let the differential get the best of them. And Kawhi Leonard, for how much time he played, he looked fatigued as he was going into the fourth, because you could see just basically from how he played. He just didn't have that extra oomph of energy, because he has to spend so much time on the floor. He has to spend so much energy just carrying that offense. I don't know if I can have faith in Kyle Lowry giving me 30 and going 7 for 9 from the three-point line again. I just don't have that faith in Kyle Lowry. So Kawhi is gonna have a bigger workload, but I just don't see how Toronto can win this series. I picked Milwaukee from the start, just because they could have a bad shooting night and still find a way to win the game. They can still find a way to come back defensively. They can still find a way to come back just from scoring in the paint. Little things like that. They do the little things. Everybody does the dirty work on the Milwaukee Bucks. It's not just, oh, everybody knows their role. everybody knows when it's time to get down and dirty, they will do the dirty work to save possessions, to get an extra rebound, to to maintain the pace. That's what the Bucks are good at. They're good at controlling the pace of a game. And when the game is fast paced, that's in Milwaukee's favor. When the game slows down and goes into a half court set, it goes into Toronto's favor. So Milwaukee, every time they get a rebound, is almost gonna be like a fast break. And that's where Milwaukee is dominant. And that's where Toronto is not, because Toronto just doesn't have the personnel or the players with the length and the athleticism to keep up with a team like Milwaukee. They just can't do it. They just can't do it. If Kawhi is not at his very best, I don't give Toronto a chance to win this series. Like I said from the jump. I got Milwaukee winning the series. And it's not just because of Giannis. Yes, I am a supporter of Giannis, but I'm not gonna act like Giannis is the sole reason why they're gonna win the series. This team is deep. This team is deep, and I don't see Chris Middleton and Nikola Mirotic and Eric Bledsoe playing as bad as they did last night. I don't see them playing that bad for the rest of the series, and that's the scary part. This was the best game for Toronto to steal home court. This was the best game for them to steal home court, and the opportunity just slipped. To me, Milwaukee is just going to be even more aggressive. They've shown in these playoffs that they don't care how big their lead is. They don't care if they got a 1-game lead, a 2-game lead. They will come out aggressive as if they are the ones that are down. They're going to be aggressive. They're not going to step off the gas. They're going to keep going the way they've been going. And that's the only way they can go to get to the finals and maybe even possibly win it all. That I like Milwaukee's chances. I defensively, I like how they switch. I like the defensive communication switching. That I like how they dedicate themselves to protecting the rim. I like how they don't make anything easy, and that's what's gonna make this series a whole lot better. Toronto, what adjustments can you make? Because like I said, that 3-2 zone it just did not work. That building a wall to surround Giannis was just not gonna work, because then you got killed by Brook Lopez. It's very tough to beat this Milwaukee team when even one of the other players gets going besides Giannis. But yeah, that I just don't know. If you're a Toronto fan, are you concerned? Or are you still confident that you're going to the finals? But in my eyes, I don't see where Toronto can move on from here, because I believe they still had that energy from that Game 7 in their mentality. But then I feel like as the game went away in that fourth quarter, as I feel like as the lead just evaporated. Well, if I didn't say that correctly, as their lead just went away and Milwaukee started pulling away with the lead, I just felt like Toronto just slowly looked discouraged. They were just like, damn, how did we let this one go? How? And I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't know where Toronto could go from here. I'm not gonna be like Paul Pierce and say the series is over. I'm never gonna just say automatically the series is over. But like I said, I got Milwaukee winning this series. And from what I saw from Milwaukee, they could have a bad shooting night, but as long as if they're collected together defensively, defense will find a way to help you create your offense. And like I said earlier, when they have a great defensive stop, it's going to lead to a fast break, which is going to lead to easy buckets. And if they even make half the threes that they took last night, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have just been an 8-point game. I'm pretty sure we would be having a whole nother conversation if Milwaukee would have nailed half of those shots. And I don't see Milwaukee having such a bad shooting night from the three either. But yeah, man, that's it. That's all. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I got Milwaukee winning this. We'll see what happens in Game 2. Comment, like, and subscribe if you like basketball content. This is your boy Jay Varsity. How do you think the rest of the series is going to play out? And I'm out. Peace.
We got some non-believers out there.
Make believers out of non-believers. Make believers out the overseers.